It is all about tonight's debate here live from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. We're having a terrific time. The people in this city are fantastic, and so much hard work has gone into preparations here with the good people from Fox Business, Fox News, and the Wall Street Journal. But we've turned our attention right now to Republican candidate Donald Trump penning an op-ed in the Wall Street Journal, blasting President Obama over foreign policy, saying the incompetent, rudderless Obama administration's negligence in foreign policy, trade, and national security is making America less confident, less prosperous, and less safe. Americans deserve better, and a Trump administration will turn us into winners again. Joining us is Fox News correspondent Lea Gabrielle. What do you make of Trump's comments? They're broad enough that maybe they connect with voters.
Well, you know, Dagen, I think it's good to see Trump as a candidate weighing in on China and talking about the issue of China as far as foreign policy is concerned, kind of bringing the world economy, bringing the U.S. economy together in terms of how that really answers questions for foreign policy. But his op-ed really talks more about the Obama administration and what he thinks it's doing wrong than what he would actually do to change things. Now, he does say that on day one of a Trump administration that he would designate China a currency manipulator. He also talks about how his tax reform, he believes that it would essentially bring money back into the American economy and make us stronger on the world stage. But again, there's a lot more in this op-ed about what the Obama administration is doing wrong than specifics on what a Trump administration would do right. Dagen.
As a former intelligence officer, Lea, and you were a pilot, you know what the candidates have said so far about foreign policy. Who do you think has laid out the most detailed plan in terms of the risk to us and the solutions?
Well, you know, Dagen, when you talk about who's actually laid out the most comprehensive plan, I would definitely put Marco Rubio up there. And I really like for our voters to be able to look at the websites of these candidates, because you hear so much of what they say in television and interviews, but they really need to be bringing it all together for voters to be able to see what their foreign policy really is. Marco Rubio very clearly lays out his foreign policy on his website, whereas a lot of the other candidates, Trump included, really don't say a lot on their website about the specifics about how they would handle things. You mentioned I'm a former intelligence officer and operator, and I want to bring that in too, Dagen, because when I look at a candidate, I understand that some of these candidates have never had any experience actually having access to intelligence, actually being on the inside of classified briefings. And when I look back at the Obama administration and how President Obama has changed his views over time, it's really clear that those views will change as candidates and eventual the president will have access to the classified information and classified briefings that really will shape a lot of their decision making when it comes to foreign policy, Dagen.
And just really quickly to wrap it up, I think that gives whomever the Republican nominee winds up being, it gives them an advantage potentially, because as you were talking about the security in briefings and classified information, that goes completely against Hillary Clinton, that they're going to be able to use that against her based on what we know about just how she handled her own email.
Well, I would also say on the other side of that, Dagen, Clinton has had access to classified briefings. She does have extensive experience, so she at least has been on the inside of some of those, kind of understands the nuances of foreign diplomacy, foreign policy. When it comes to understanding having the access to intelligence, it's more just understanding how things work on the sly. You know, what are the conversations that aren't made in public? And I look back to the 2008 election when McCain was debating Obama, and one of the things President Obama, then candidate Obama, talked about was going into Pakistan for military force. And I remember McCain saying, "You don't say that out loud." And that was kind of one of the nuances. You know, he understood that there are certain things that are said out loud and certain things that are not said out loud. So these candidates who don't have that experience will come to see that if they are elected president.
There is a lot to listen to tonight and a lot to parse. Lea, thank you so much. It's terrific to see you as always. Lea Gabrielle from Fox News.